This is a level 3 question. It is based on coordinate geometry. So if you read this paragraph completely, there is an n cross n square matrix of having n square cells of dimension 1 cross 1 each, where n is an odd natural number. Every cell in the matrix is identified as I, j, where I and j are integers. The identity of centralmost figure is 0, 0. Every other cell is given an identity as per the Cartesian coordinate system. All identities are given with reference to the centermost cell. For example, cell to the immediate right of 0, 0 belongs to 1, 0 and so on forth. So it is completely based on Cartesian system, coordinate geometry, where a single point is referred as cells, right? So what is the first question on this set? If the identities of the cells sharing a common point or common boundary with the cell having the identity I, j or I1, J1 and so on cell IM, JM, then what is the value of mod of I minus I1, mod of I minus I2 and so on cell plus I minus IM? These are the options. Okay, so let's try to figure this out. Let us suppose we have a 3 cross 3 matrix. Now suppose this is my centermost cell, which is referred as 0, 0. So this will be 1, 0, this will be 1, 1 and so on and so forth, right? This is now I need to find I minus I1 mod, summation of I minus I1 basically. So I do not need to bother about the y-axis here, right? I'll just see the x point. What are the x points of these cells, right? So for this cell, what is the value of I minus I1? It's 1 minus 0 and the modulus of that is 1. Okay. Similarly, for this cell, it is also 1 minus 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. And for this cell, it is also 1 minus 0 is 1. Coordinates of this cell is 0, comma 1. So the value of I minus I mod will be equal to 0 here. Similarly 0 here. This is minus 1 comma 1, minus 1 comma 0 and so on forth. So the value of I minus I1 here is minus 1, but the modulus of that is again 1. So the value of these three cells is also 1. So with reference to the centralmost figure, the value of mod of I minus I1 or I minus I2 or I minus I3 and so on forth will be either 0 or 1, right? Now there are various possible cases. Suppose the centralmost figure, centralmost cell is like this only. So we'll have 8 cells which are adjacent to it. For example, in this case, if this is the centralmost cell, I have these 8 cells which are adjacent to it, and the value of mod of I minus I1, I minus I2 will be 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, and the summation of all this will be equal to 6. 1 plus 1, 6. There are 6 ones. Okay. There may be a case that this is the centralmost cell, then we'll have 5 cells adjacent to it. So this is the centralmost cell, and I'll have this value 0, this value 0, this value 1, 1, 1. Then the value of I minus I1 mod and so on and so forth will be equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is nothing but 3. Right. Another case will be if, let's say, the centralmost figure is this one, then we'll have these 5 cells adjacent to it. Value is again 0, 1, 1, 1 and 0, which is again 3, right? If it is like this, this is the centralmost figure, let's say, then we'll have this as 0, this as 1, this as 1, this as 1, this as 1, will come out to be 4. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, right? And suppose it is like this. This is the centralmost cell. Then we'll have 3 cells adjacent to it. And the value according to this system, all these values are according to this system only, right? So the value will be 0, 1 and 1, which gives you 2. So I have 2, I have 4, I have 3, I have 6. So it could be either 2 or 3 or 4 or 6. So these are the 4 possible cases in this case.